it'll be a little swirl on your head.
Wow.
You wear it like a crown. A poopy princess.
I like ice.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Hey y'all, today's video is going to be a little bit of a personal challenge for myself. I am going to be attempting to make tonight's dinner completely from scratch. Tonight's dinner is enchiladas. We're going to be doing black bean enchiladas with rice. I'm going to be making the corn tortillas for the enchiladas and the enchilada sauce with the big boys from my garden. Let's see how it goes. Alright, we're going to start with the black beans since they're going to take the longest. It's about 4:45 now. I'm hoping we'll be done before 6. Should be okay. Alright, first of all, I'm going to wash my beans. I'm going to throw them in my Instapot pot. Just kind of zhuzh them around, find any bad beans, and then make sure they're just nice and clean before I cook them. Super important to clean your beans because you don't know how long these beans have been sitting in their package and could be dusty and dirty. And one time, when I was cooking some pinto beans, I found a literal just clump of dirt. It was disgusting. It turned the water all gross and dirty. Imagine if you cooked your beans without cooking them. Just dirty beans. This is 2 pounds of beans. This is obviously not all going to be for the enchiladas, but I love beans, so I like to have plenty on backup just for soup, salads. I like it for breakfast half the time. Pick out any weird beans you see. Some people pick out the cracked beans. I don't think that matters all that much. I kind of like the texture, just a little more texture. I've found rocks in beans before. That's how you break a damn tooth. Alright, I'd say that's good. Alright, now I'm going to fill it up with enough water to cover the beans about 2 inches. I'm not putting anything in here yet. No salt, no seasoning, nothing. I like to get the first cook in there because it kind of helps it. I don't know, it gives it a good foundation. I found if I cook the beans, the first cook with anything, they turn out really tough, and I had a hard time moving around that. So I've learned just to do the initial cook with nothing. You can always season it later. Alrighty, into the Instapot. Set it to seal. I'm gonna set it on manual for, I'm gonna give it about 60 minutes. Toki! Are you hungry? It is almost dinner time. Oh, sure, we'll feed you. Meow. Here. Here you go. Next, we're just going to chop our veggies. So I have a whole white onion here. This will be for the enchilada sauce, the beans, and that's it, actually. Just going to go ahead, not go too crazy. Might just give it a julienne. Who's julienne? We save our veggie scraps for veggie broth. Okay, that's not julienne, but you know what I was going for. For some toppings, it's one of my favorite things to eat on top of Mexican food is red onion and cilantro. So I'm gonna wash up the cilantro and get this in a blend going. Would you hand me the scrap bag, my love? Thank you. Onion scraps, carrot scraps, garlic scraps, all those are awesome for a good veggie stuff. Just gonna dice this red onion. Alright. I like making a bunch of cilantro and onion too because I eat it on everything. Salads, I like to put it in like chicken salad, tuna salad. It's very versatile. I'm a big fan of Indian food, and I have tons of like curries in the freezer that I heat up if I need a breakfast or lunch and I don't want to do anything, so it's very handy for that. And if you have the soap gene, I'm so sorry. I feel bad. Cilantro is so good. I'm just gonna give it a shake. Put it in the fridge for now. Alright, the battery kicked the bucket on the camera, so it lost some of the footage, but in a blender, I'm going to I blended half of one of our big boy tomatoes from the freezer, some of this bouillon, onion, garlic, some water, oregano, and this caldo de tomate, tomato bouillon. I forgot to put in the onion and salt, so I'm going to add a little salt to it too. But again, this is for the Mexican rice. This is what we're starting now. Alright, I'm going to head straight over to here. Alright, I'm going to put this in my rice cooker. I'm going to hit it with just a touch of olive oil in the bottom. And I'm going to add, oops, 2 cups of rice. This is basmati. I should have washed my rice. People are going to get mad at me. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add my tomato mixture. Then I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Give it a stir. I'm going to set it on.
Get it on!
Provecho. Bienvenidos to Cooking with Abuela.
Bienvenidos, Cooking with Abuela. Okay, so now we're going to make our enchilada sauce. I have guajillo peppers here, and then some chiles de árbol. I'm going to use, I don't know, she was making a huge batch, the lady I was watching. But this is just gonna be for me and my husband, honestly. I'm gonna do 4 guajillos. No, I want more. I'm gonna do 6. And then for some spice, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 arboles. I'm gonna throw these into this pan here. I'm gonna fill it with water and get it to a boil so they can soften up. Alright, and now for the tomato, I'm not even gonna rinse my blender cup. I'm gonna take about half of these onions, shove them in here. I'm going to use this tomato. This is one of the big boys. And then probably this half. I might have to cut them down to get them to fit in there. That's okay. I'm also gonna add in, let's go 4 cloves of garlic. Alright, I'm gonna get these blended up. Still kind of frozen, so it's like a tomato smoothie. Alright, I'm gonna grab another saucepan and get it started just to get the tomatoes simmering. They're still frozen. Alright, now I'm gonna do the rest. I'm gonna add a touch of water just to make it a little easier for it to blend. I'm also gonna add some of this bouillon, caldo de tomate, more oregano. One more thing for the blender. Friggin' Magic Bullet's putting in some overtime today. Rest of the onion. Let's do 4 cloves of garlic here. Last bit of tomato. These are gonna be, I don't know if I've said this yet, for the black beans. Throw it in there. More bouillon. More caldo de tomate. More oregano. And to switch it up, since all these have the same kind of flavors, I'm gonna add some cumin. Alright. Let's get this blended up. This will be ready for when the beans are ready. I'm just gonna set this right here for when the beans are ready. Got about a half hour left. Alright, now we're just going to clean up a little bit. One thing I totally forgot to do is make a roux for this, so I'm going to do 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. I use oil rather than butter because my son's allergic to dairy. And then I'm going to mix it with 1/4 cup of flour. Get my tiny whisk and just give it a mix. I should try to make like a gumbo again sometime. That was actually fire. Alright, we're gonna cook it for about a minute or two just to get that flour taste out. And it goes without saying, we're broke as a joke right now. Putting myself through school right now and 2 kids and prepping for next year's garden. So anything where you can cut costs is going to help. A lot of this is pantry essentials. Yeah. It is a cost-efficient meal. It's just a labor of love. This is something I could never see myself doing years ago. I worked a 9 to 5 and I came home just freaking beat down. Didn't want to do anything. So I'm going to strain in the tomatoes just to get the, you know, tomato skins and seeds out. Alright, let's give it a mix. Make sure it's getting mixed in evenly. That looks awesome. Growing up, I've always just bought that canned El Paso or whatever that brand was, enchilada sauce. Okay, I think the peppers are ready. They've been sitting here, soaking up all, just getting rehydrated. Alright, I'm gonna put them in the blender cup here. Can't forget those balls. If I can grab them. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of the water, and then I'm gonna blend it up. Now I have it all in my blender cup. I'm gonna blend it. It's hot, so you just gotta be careful blending hot things. I'm burping it every few minutes because, ooh yeah, just moving that. So we're gonna give it a spritz, and then I'm gonna open it. Because even just doing that, don't worry, I'm saving up for a Vitamix. Okay, that should be good. It's not doing it anymore. Alright, I'm also going to put this through the strainer. There are lots of seeds and stems and stuff. Ooh, look how that color. Alright, let's give this a mix. And then we're going to taste it, see how it is. Never trust a chef that doesn't taste their food. That's delicious. It needs a touch of salt. I want more of a garlic kick, so I'm gonna add some more garlic powder. And I want some oregano right on top for flavor, so I'm gonna add a bit more oregano. I also like how it looks aesthetically into the sauce. Oh yeah, awesome. All right, I'm gonna cover this and keep it on low. I don't want it to reduce anymore. I like how it is now. So I'm just gonna keep it here, keep it warm until we're ready to make the enchiladas. All right, beans are done, so I'm gonna quick release it. Quick tip if you've never had an Instant Pot before, throw a rag over it, boom, so you're not shoving all that steam in the air. Also helps if you have your Instant Pot under cabinets. Our rice is done also. We're gonna give it a stir. Give it a taste. Oh my goodness. That is so flavorful. I'm not even trying to like inflate it. That is probably the most flavorful rice I've ever made. You gotta try that, Shane. Our beans are done and quick release. We're gonna open them. I'm gonna check if they're done. I'm gonna hope to God they are. Wow. I'm gonna take a bean and squish it. Don't worry, I've got hands of steel. I've worked in restaurants for like 15 years. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, those are done. Remember that mixture I mixed up earlier for the beans? Tomatoes, onions, garlic, and all the good stuff, the bouillon. I'm gonna pour it straight in here. All right, we're gonna give that a mix. Now we're gonna hit this with like a metric ton of salt. This is 2 pounds of beans. There's like hardly any salt in here. Maybe a little from the bouillon and stuff, but no, it's gonna need some help. Now we're gonna hit the Instapot on saute. And I'm gonna let the tomato and the flavors cook in while we wait for everything else. All right, now, admittedly, this is the part I am worried the most about. I bought this tortilla press because I wanted to experiment making my own tortillas, and I had a hard time. So we're gonna try again today, put myself on the line, make these tortillas or else we're not having dinner. All right, we're gonna do 2 cups of our maseca. This is according to the package as well. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of salt. This is 1.5 cups of warm water. I'm gonna go about 1 cup first and then add water as I think sees fit. I'm gonna go in with my hands. All right, definitely need some more water. I'm gonna add probably maybe a tablespoon at a time. And of the dozens of TikTok videos I've watched about these, we're going to see if you make a ball and you squeeze it and it doesn't crack, it's good to go. Still seems a bit crumbly, let's see. Still pretty cracky. Something I'm looking forward to next year is with the corn I want to grow. I'm hoping I can make my own corn tortillas from the corn I grow. Like, I'm growing the blue Hopi flint corn and Oaxacan green dent corn. I really want to try and eat a little more sustainably. We're gonna add a little bit more water. I think that's good to go. I'm gonna cover it with a towel until we're ready to cook it all. Alrighty, the video I watched, he suggested about 1 ounce per tortilla, and I'm just gonna go ahead and try and follow that. I'm not gonna go too crazy. That's more than 1 ounce. Okay, 29 grams, we'll do that. Alright, we have our tortilla. We have a bag that I cut the tops and the sides off. My tortilla press. I'm gonna press it towards kind of like the middle. Alright, let's see. Oh, that looks awesome. Peel it off into my hand. Oh, that looks awesome. I have a hot pan ready to go, about medium heat. I'm gonna cook it 45 to 60 seconds per side. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start the next one. Oh, that makes a perfect size. Awesome. Flip it. Probably could have let it go a little bit more. I'm just gonna go ahead and pre-roll a bunch of them. Probably turn up the heat, because it seemed to be going very fast. Alright, good enough. We're gonna set it aside in this tortilla warmer that we inherited with the house. Hee hee. Let's try another one. Gosh, it looks perfect. It's just the perfect circle. Alright, I see the edges are starting to pull up here, so I'm just gonna flip. See what that does. Maybe it's like a first, it's like a pancake type of thing. Maybe the first is always kind of meh. I've also seen people kind of pat it with like a wet paper towel. Maybe I'll try that. Okay, it's wanting to poof there. Look at that. It's like I tried to make a roti or a naan once and I had the same issue. Alright, we'll call that one done. Alright, I have enough tortillas to start, and I think I'm just going to go for it. So I have an 8x8 square here. I'm just going to hit it with some olive oil. Alright, I'm going to take some of my beautiful homemade enchilada sauce, put it on the bottom. Spread it out. Spread it on the bottom of the pan. So we're gonna take one of our tortillas, a little bit of rice, a little bit of beans. Probably too much, but it's fine. Roll it up, put it in there. Ooh, I'm excited. Rice, beans. This is burning my thumbs. We're getting somewhere. This is looking awesome. Alright, I'm gonna put a little more of the enchilada sauce on top. As I was cleaning up, I just wanted to point out how much we got left over. So we had about 2 cups left of this enchilada sauce, 2 containers of rice, which is about 4 cups cooked, and 4 containers of these black beans, which is about 8 cups cooked. This is all easily 3 to 4 meals worth that could get us further. It just goes to show that these pantry staples, beans, rice, tomatoes, and whatever is pretty essential if you are hurting on money and you need to feed your family. Alright, let's check it. Ooh, that looks awesome. We're gonna hit it with some non-fat Greek yogurt. It's like kind of like sour cream. Use sour cream, I feel like. Hit it with our cilantro and red onion. Valentina. I like the green Cholula. I also love cabbage, so I like to hit the top of mine with some fresh cabbage, almost like a salad. Alright, let's get a bite with everything on it. I can't, it's hard to kind of fathom I've made every single piece of this. Besides the obvious, but this is how life used to be. You used to have to make everything like this in order to get the meals you wanted, but I am very satisfied. I'm ready to eat this whole plate. See you next time. Bye.